So you've just been told you have functional dyspepsia, and if you're anything like most people, you're probably feeling a bit of whiplash. On one hand, relief, right, to finally have a name for what's going on. But on the other hand, a ton of confusion. What does that even mean? Well, if that's where you're at, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break it all down, nice and simple, so you can really get a handle on this.
Look, getting a diagnosis like this can feel, well, pretty lonely. But I want you to know right now you are definitely not alone. This is way more common than you might think. So let's jump in and figure this out together. Think of this as your personal guide to understanding what's going on inside your body, and more importantly, what we can do about it.
Here's our game plan. First, we'll get clear on what functional dyspepsia actually is. Then, we're going to hit those big, nagging questions you probably have. We'll get into the cool science of the gut-brain connection, look at real strategies for managing your symptoms, and then talk about what to expect down the road.
All right, first things first, let's really nail down what this diagnosis means. Getting a solid grasp on what functional dyspepsia, or FD for short, is and what it isn't is honestly the most powerful first step you can take.
Okay, this is the most important thing to get right off the bat. Functional dyspepsia is a 100% real, legitimate medical condition. What you're feeling is not all in your head. The key word here is functional. All that means is that the problem isn't with the structure of your stomach, like an ulcer they can see on a scope, it's with the function, how it's all working. Do these sound familiar? I'm guessing they do. These are the big four symptoms that really define FD, that really annoying fullness that sticks around after you eat. Or maybe you take 2 bites of a meal and you're just done, stuffed. Then there's that gnawing pain or burning feeling up top, and the word doctors use is bothersome for a reason. This isn't just a little indigestion, it's stuff that really gets in the way of your life. And if you're feeling like you're the only one dealing with this, just take a look at this number. Around 7% of people have FD. That is a huge number. We're talking millions and millions of people. So you're not alone, not by a long shot. And that means there's a lot of research and a whole community of people who get it.
You know, a new diagnosis always comes with a whole host of worries. It's totally normal to have some pretty big, even scary questions swirling around. So right now, we're going to tackle those head on. Let's get you some answers and hopefully some peace of mind.
This is usually question number 1, isn't it? And it makes perfect sense. When you feel this crummy, your mind naturally goes to the worst-case scenarios. Is this something serious in disguise? Could this, turn into cancer?
Let me be as clear as I possibly can be on this. The research is solid. Functional dyspepsia does not cause cancer. It doesn't morph into some other scary disease, and it does not affect how long you'll live. Now, the symptoms are a real pain, and they can mess with your quality of life, for sure. But the condition itself is not life-threatening. So let's just take a deep breath on that one.
Ah, yes, the big frustration. This is the part that can make you feel like you're going crazy. You feel awful, genuinely sick, and then your doctor comes back and says your endoscopy was clear, your scans are fine, everything looks normal. It's so invalidating, but there's a really good reason for it.
This is the best way I've ever heard it explained. Think of your body like a computer. A structural problem, like an ulcer, is a hardware issue, a broken part. You can open up the computer and physically see it. But FDS? That's a software problem. The wiring is all there, the parts look fine, but the programs are glitching and not communicating right. That's why the tests come back normal. They're looking for hardware problems, but the issue is with the software.
So if it's a software issue, what does that actually mean? Well, it leads us right to the heart of what causes FDS, this incredible thing called the gut-brain connection. And let me just clear something up right away. This is not the same as saying it's all in your head. Not at all. We're talking about a real, physical, two-way highway of nerves and signals between your gut and your brain that's just gotten its wires crossed.
And this isn't some fringe theory, by the way. This is official medical science. FD is part of a whole class of conditions called disorders of gut-brain interaction. It's a recognized field that studies this powerful link between our digestive system and our central nervous system. So how does this breakdown in communication happen? Well, it usually starts with some kind of trigger. Could be a really stressful period in your life, a particular food, or even a nasty stomach bug you had ages ago. That trigger sets off a reaction in the gut, making it extra sensitive. It's like someone snuck in and turned the volume knob on your stomach's nerves all the way up to 11. Now, those nerves are screaming, "Emergency!" signals up to the brain, even for normal stuff like digestion. your brain gets these amplified signals and says, whoa, we've got serious pain and fullness down here, and that is what you feel. So this whole process is driven by a few key players. Your stomach might just be moving too slowly, so food sits around longer, making you feel full. Then there's that visceral hypersensitivity we just talked about, the volume knob turned way up. We're also learning there can be some really subtle, low-grade inflammation that typical tests might miss. And of course, things like stress and anxiety can pour gasoline on the fire, making the whole system even more reactive.
Okay, that was a lot about the why. That's half the battle. Now for the good part, what can we actually do about it? The great news is there's a whole toolbox of strategies we can use. It's all about finding the right combination of tools that works for you.
So, we usually start here. Your doctor will check for a common stomach bacteria called H. pylori. They might try some acid-reducing medicines to see if that helps calm things down. Then there's the stuff you can do, and this can be huge. Regular exercise, making some simple dietary tweaks like smaller meals, and learning your trigger foods. And honestly, one of the most important things is having a doctor you trust who listens to you. That partnership is key.
Now, if those first steps don't give you enough relief, please don't lose hope. There are more powerful tools in the toolbox. This is where we can directly target that faulty gut-brain communication. We have special medications called neuromodulators that can literally turn the volume down on those sensitive gut nerves. There are amazing therapies like gut-directed hypnotherapy that help retrain your brain's response to gut signals. And for some, there are medicines that can help the stomach empty more efficiently. There are options.
All right, we've gone through the what, the why, and the how. So what does the future look like? Let's talk about the long game and, most importantly, how you stay in the driver's seat of your own health. It's really important to be realistic here, but also incredibly hopeful. The truth is, for many people, FMD is a chronic condition. That means it might be something you manage for the long haul. You'll likely have good days and bad days, good weeks and bad weeks. But, and this is a huge but, with the right management, so many people get so much better. They find what works for them, and they get their lives back. Improvement is not just possible, it's likely. You're going to have flare-ups. It's part of the deal, but you can be ready for them. Your new job is to become a bit of a detective for your own body. What are your triggers? Is it that greasy meal, a terrible night's sleep, a stressful deadline? Once you start spotting your patterns, you can build a flare-up plan. Know what stress busters work for you. Have a plan with your doctor for what to do on the really bad days. Being prepared puts you in control.
If you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Your doctor is an expert guide, but you are the expert on you. You live in your body every single day. You are the CEO of your own health. Your voice, your observations, your participation, that's what makes all the difference. You're not a passive patient, you're an active partner. I know this is a lot to take in, and it can feel overwhelming. So please, don't feel like you have to fix everything overnight. Just think about this one question. What is one small, tiny thing you can do today? Just one. Maybe it's going for a 10-minute walk after dinner. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water right now. Or maybe it's just writing down how you feel. That one small step, that's you taking back control. And that's where this whole journey begins.